childhood trauma doesn't come back as a feeling, it comes back as a reaction. When people look like they're overreacting to something, they're not.
Yes.
So take me back to then how we start to identify where this is coming from, what different types of triggers there are, and then how we can start to peel back the onion, understanding them, and then start to, I don't know, reverse probably isn't the right word, but maybe come to a place where we're no longer having those triggers dictate how we show up.
Yeah. What's, I think, really important to understand in that quote as well is also not to minimize. While our feelings do feel disproportionate, for lack of a bigger word, really big for whatever objectively might be happening, I think some of us might seek to like minimize, or maybe we've been told we're so dramatic, our emotions are so over the top. And I think a really kind of point I want to hammer home before I kind of go into what to do, how to navigate these moments differently, is just to create some space to honor the feelings that we're having. Because while they might not be objectively mapping on to what's happening now, there is a similarity in circumstance, in context, in underlying feeling that we're having that's contributing to their bigness. And I say this because there's so many of us who have lived a lifetime of shaming ourselves for our emotions in particular, of having this idea that we need to suppress or squash them down and not allow them the space that they are. Because when we're talking about these emotional reactions, we actually are talking about things that are sensations that are stored in our body, that for many of us have been accumulating from a lifetime of similarly overwhelming experiences. And without support in our childhood, without someone to help us feel safe as we're having bigger and bigger emotions, to make sense of them and then to figure out how to bring myself back into regulation, or really simply calm, a responsive, grounded place where I can say, okay, I'm feeling this emotion. I might take the information that it's giving me and I can still make a choice about what I do next. When we don't have that modeling, when we don't have that lived experience with another caregiver who can join us on that journey of making sense of our emotions, we are going to rely on a much more reactive way, because that, for many of us, is the only way we can find safety, whether it's the exploders out there who scream and yell, right, when we're outwardly upset at something, or when we're inwardly, I should say, upset with something, it comes outward